Alright, we're back. MacArthur's War, micro-design group games. We are playing the Korean War, but with alternate reality in the sense that it can escalate beyond just what it was in history, which in the case of our game it already has. The Chinese actually escalated to an Asian war, invaded Formosa. In response, the UN, specifically the US, started using atomic bombs and basically strategically did it to cut off supplies to Chinese units in North Korea at this point. The Chinese then had a gambit where they're going to say, we're going to call a stalemate. The UN has 2 turns then to capture an objective on the Hex. The one they're driving for is here. There's a port underneath here. And continental US reinforcements, 2 infantry, armor, and both airborne divisions went to Formosa, and last turn got the role they needed to drive the 2 Chinese armies off of the island. So that battle is over. The US has some replacements, though, things to do before they begin to consider invading China proper. And China has a lot of defending units, so that's going to be tough. The victory points are tight. The US actually is negative. The UN is negative. Due to losses, the communists are barely +3. Hence, they wanted to do the stalemate. If the UN doesn't capture something their turn, then the game's over, and we compare victory points. So, we're to the communist turn, and I just kind of want to spend some looking at where replacements come. KPA and ROC, any city or port in their countries. PLA is in the strategic display for destroyed units. US is in the Korea strategic display, so that's good to know. And effectively, Chinese units that are reduced in this area cannot take replacements because they're out of supply. But since they're out of supply, it really makes no difference to use the air power for interdiction, because that's what interdiction causes. So with this kind of air power, they're probably not going to attack. The other thing is the 7th Fleet was tied up in Formosa. Chinese were hoping to at least one more turn, but actually now the 7th Fleet is free next turn to invade targets of opportunities. We've got 2 Marine divisions sitting on ships in the waters around Korea. So, yep, here we go. Here's just the victory from last turn. These guys are sitting ready, so invasion is possible too, to get that objective Hex. Whole lot of Russians here. Don't quite know what they're going to do. That may be something to think about. Actually, I will do something there. Alright. So, with all that being said, let's start the communist turn and decide what they're going to do. So, we'll reference the sequence of play. There's no weather. It's rolled before the UN turn. So I'm back. So looking at this, I think the Chinese turn is all the way over. Communist is over here. Escalation phase. I don't need to roll, but 5 or 6 it could escalate to worldwide, World War III. At this point, the communists are not interested in that. At this point, you never know. So now it's the reinforcement, replacement points, and mobilize Chinese and Soviet units. Well, they're certainly not going to mobilize the Soviet units. That costs victory points. Here we are in Asian War. And yeah, if I want to bring some USSR divisions across, which we don't necessarily need, it's 1 victory point, and the margin of victory points is too close. I think I have another idea for them. So we just work through here for replacements. The KPA gets 1. They don't own Pyongyang, so I think they're going to get this guy to full strength. And then the PLA gets 6, but they can't apply them to anybody down here. It's probably going to be due to eliminated units. So with 6, they can bring full strength in an entire army. So that is what they do. And they're going to appear, per the rules I was just looking at, in the China area. May actually leave them there to protect against an possible UN invasion of China. And I think that's it. That's all. It's just, well, and I don't, the Soviet Union gets replacements, but they haven't entered the game, except for dropping atomic bombs on Seoul and Incheon, which may be enough to get the UN wanting to escalate. We'll see. So I think that's the end of the reinforcement phase. And now we go to the strategic movement. So looking at the board, actually we need to look at the strategic map here. These could move on board. You know, actually that may be something to do. Yeah, because got some points there that are invadable, I believe. So I think what we'll do is actually rail these guys on one of the remaining rail lines that works, coming around the back door there. Rail these guys to here, and that's a big city with a square. So now here's the interesting thing. I think I'm going to move these guys here, because if it does escalate, they can, each one of these gives a +1 on the die roll. Tempted to pull the other one off too, just to get more pluses, but I think we'll keep them there just in case. So I believe that's communist strategic movement. Then we go to offboard conflicts. Nope, Formosa. They repelled the Chinese invasion, so we're not rolling for offboard conflicts. Now it's the movement phase. Well, we know where the U.S. is going, so what we need to do is, yeah, we don't want those guys there. Yeah, we got 148, got 248s. They're out of supply, so they got half movement, but these guys can come down out of here. 348s and a 68. We'll figure out what to do with him. So that's one objective. Let's hide pieces. And the other one's up here. If the Marines are going to invade, it would be here. Is there more than one? Wait, where is it up here? Hold on. Oh my, there's 2. Okay. But they've got enough horsepower, I think. How many have I got here? 3, so I may pull one up here. Let's see if we can make this work too. Yeah, we'll pull the 2-8 up here, and the 3-4-8s here. 4-4-8s. Okay. So the remaining Korean objectives are those 3 ports, and they're garrisoned as much as possible. Now, I'm not sure about Chinese, but let's see. I think we've done it there. Let's see. Yeah, they're not going to invade here. That's actually a good reason to keep these guys here. Keep the Marines away. But the only thing we need to do is, let's hide pieces. Yeah. Can do, yep, perfect. We can put one here, one here, one here. Wait, did I put too many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Oh, no, no. Oh, this doesn't count anymore. No victory points. It's been bombed out of existence, which questions why are these guys here? Well, there's the victory points down there. So 1, and is he on? Yeah, they're on supply. They can swing around here to. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's back it up, I guess. 1, 6, 7. Put him here. Is he in supply? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, he's not in supply. So we'll just keep him there. Okay. Now the question is, well, there's nothing really worth defending here. I could just move one of these up. Oh, these aren't very powerful units. Let's get these guys out of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these guys can get down here. What are these guys doing? Nope, nothing there. So, can't beef up that anymore. I don't think they would attack this way, but there's no reason. I'm just going to put them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the terrain effects chart. Mountain 3 MP, rough 2 MP. So yeah, that's going to be hard. So this guy can get down here. These guys, 1, 2, 3, they're stuck. 1, 2, 3, can't get here. Can't get here. These guys can maybe... Alright, these guys... Well, let's do this. Alright, these guys actually moved here. These other guys shifted over. One guy moves here. One this guy shifts over. Here, this guy shifts over. Guy moves here. This guy shifts over. The replacement. I don't know what to do with these guys yet. We'll figure that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can. Got 3 here, and then these guys can go here and here. So we got 4 stacks everywhere. That's a 3 stack. It's okay, we'll move these guys up here. These guys will come down off the mountain. Yep. And then, oh, what am I going to do with these guys? Well, I guess we can put them here. They're not going to be in supply. They're going to be like this forever. That's the problem. Or should they start slowly crawling back to China? No, that's too far. Put these guys here. Put these guys here. Okay. These guys have already moved. I don't necessarily see the use of guerrillas yet, and I need to make the counters. So I think that's their move. They're not going to attack, not by a long shot. Full strength versus, well, these guys are at half strength, but still. Burden of attack is on the US player, so we'll see. Alright, what's next? Atomic attack phase. And actually, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to bomb these 2 ports. And guess what happens if those 2 ports are out of commission? All US UN units are out of supply. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm going to do the optional rule on a 6. They're shot down, so therefore I'm going to commit 2 bombs to each. So, first bomb, 4 and a 5, make them through. Now, one of them gets shot down, but one of them gets through. So, got some things to do here. That changes these to... They rolled high on that. They've got... Yeah, this goes here. Yep, they got 30 left. Now, this is... hope I'm doing this right. Somebody will correct me if I didn't. Collateral damage on map. These bombings were done in North Korea. Communists lose 2 victory points. And the UN loses 1. Don't know why the UN would lose it, but right down to the wire. The UN loses 1, but they didn't do the bombing. That makes no sense. They were bombing their own people, so. And now we just need some markers. Okay, this is a problem now for the UN next turn. And the communists have just a hairbreadth of victory, 1 VP. So the US has to take, the UN has to either take this hex or pull off an invasion. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The game is on the wire. Wow, that was a big attack there. See, but they're all out of supply. Except for the North Korean unit. Okay, that's the joker. So that's really 2, 4, 6, that's 12. And they can only attack from 1 hex. These guys are out of supply though. 2, 4, 6, 8. But they can only be invaded. These guys are weaker. Soon the Korean Peninsula is going to be uninhabitable if we keep bombing ports. Alright. I think that's the end of the communist turn. So the big event this turn is they've beefed up their line as much as possible, even though all these units are out of supply, to see if they can slow down the US, the UN, or prevent them. I guess it all comes down to getting that victory point hex, and if it's an invasion, they're going to do that too probably. Well, and these units are in supply. So there's nothing they can do before the strategic movement phase to stop that. These units are, well, this unit, his KPA is in supply. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I have a feeling the Marines are going to be landing here. So we'll see what happens. Alright. And the other big thing going on besides the atomic bombs taking out the ports is, Russian forces are not massing in Korea. No need. The Chinese are doing that. They're moving towards Europe. So we'll see. And then the U.S. forces here could invade China with the nationalist Chinese, but they probably need to recoup their losses. So we'll see. Could be ending next turn, or it could be escalating to World War III, depending on the dice rolls, or hopefully the world leaders step back from the brink. So again, if you've liked it, please click like. And if you want to be notified the next time I post, please subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, have a great day. And we will see you next turn for the UN response to their ports supplying all their frontline troops in Korea being put out of commission. So, that's it.